Thanks, Subra. Good evening. It's a pleasure to see the graduating class all decked up and ready to graduate and move on to professional careers. Well, it's a pleasure to be here on multiple fronts. First, it's a pleasure to discover the organization and the college itself. I pride myself on being a very active Bangalorean. I'm also a quizzer, and so I should have very good general knowledge. I used to be a mastermind runner-up. But I had no idea about your institution or anything that you do. And so when Arvind contacted me and told me about this, and I went onto the website and looked at the variety of programs that you have out there, I was like, wow, I keep talking about this in my speeches, and someone has been doing this and doing it for the last decade, right? And how come I missed out on all this was what I was essentially thinking about. Anyway, regardless, I'm just very, very happy to discover the kinds of very practical professional programs that have been established right here. And I was just showing my children the website, and they were certainly quite impressed by the design and the variety of programs that you have here. Well, actually, if you think about the kinds of the time in history where we are all gathered here today, where we are looking at the world and how it's changing, well, it's a time when India is really on the map, in a really exciting way. Okay, if I had said this 2 years ago, you would have believed it. Right now, things have slowed down a little bit, but I'm sure that we'll get right back on track very, very quickly. And as this India changes and emerges, what really is the need of the hour is more attention to the variety of services that are entirely possible in a growing economy. And whenever I come across youngsters who come and ask me for advice and things like that, especially at IIM, people want to think about what entrepreneurial opportunities are possible. I keep telling them, you don't have to come up with something extraordinarily new or something that's a breakthrough. Just look at things that are already out there and working in some other part of the world, and you'll find that many of these services or goods or opportunities are not in India as yet, right? And if you are a quick early mover, if you are someone who does an extraordinarily good job of whatever you're doing, well, there's a huge market waiting for you. And that's very much the case, not just, if you look at our big telecom billionaires or something like that, they didn't invent anything new. They probably refined the model, adapted it to Indian conditions, but they were very quick, they scaled up, and they delivered a crucial service to hundreds of millions of Indians. And now that's why they're so successful. Well, these domains that you are working on, event management, advertising, public relations, etc., are extraordinarily crucial to anyone who's moving forward, who's trying to build a company, to build an organization, to reach out to new markets within India itself. And you'll be, the dimension that Subra didn't mention to you is my political dimension. I'm also a politician preparing for the next Lok Sabha election. At the present moment, I'm an official spokesperson of the Congress party. So typically at 9 o'clock, I will be fighting with Arnab Goswami or someone like that. So all these sorts of things are happening simultaneously. Well, what's happening on the political front? During the last Karnataka elections, there are people like me who've grown up in the political system who want to be, the crucial strategy decision makers. But the president also hires a separate war room where Perfect Relations has its team, some other social media group has its team, and so we work together, of course. But the basic point is, even those of us who feel we have a finger on the pulse of the people feel the need to bring in professionals in every domain, especially from the domains that are represented right here, okay? And this is not actually something new. If you go back to 2004, actually, I wasn't in India at that time, but Rajiv Gandhi hired Rediffusion for his first major political campaign. And more recently, in 2004, the NDA government came up with the massive India Shining campaign, which really had an extraordinary effect. I was part of that small strategy group at that time with Jairam Ramesh and Salman Khurshid, trying to figure out how on earth do you respond to a campaign like India Shining? How do you counter that? Nobody wants India not to shine. right? And so that was really the kind of challenge that we were facing. And then, of course, the Congress came up with this notion about, yes, India may be shining, but what about the common man? You know, Aam Aadmi ko kya mila was the real counter. You know, sort of you figure out a way to respond. But in all of these, it wasn't just the political players. It was the professionals who played a very, very central part in this whole engagement, in the development of all this. And what you're doing here is developing more such professionals, and and so that you all have lots of opportunities going forward. By the way, just since to complete that story, a lot of people like to say that that India Shining campaign was not a success, right? Actually, in my opinion, it was a tremendous success. It really got the, created a feel-good factor in the country, and the NDA really lost because of bad coalition choices. I mean, Chandrababu lost in Andhra Pradesh, and they switched from DMK to Jayalalitha, and that whole Tamil Nadu, about 40 seats, basically went the other way. Anyway, that's just a practical reality. Even though people keep saying it was a campaign that failed, that wasn't the case. It was something else. Anyway, so I'm just bringing up these kinds of issues. And normally, when I talk about, talk at graduations, I keep telling youngsters about what they should do, because that seems to be the role of the professor on an occasion like this. And I just have one or two, simple messages. One is to be professional in everything that you say or do, right? And so that word professional should be something that just becomes very much a part of your, every pore, every cell of what you do, say, anything that you engage in. And because in India, we have lots of people with a chalta hai attitude. You know, in Kannada, there's a famous dialogue called Swalpa Just Madi. It's okay, somebody got electrocuted by a live wire. These things happen. We don't want that. We want total professionalism in every domain, right? And the fact that this organization has been set up, these kinds of courses have been put in place by your founding team, by your advisory board, by the faculty who are putting in so much effort to make things more professional. Most of them have learned on the job. They've learned along the way through experience, right? But what they've done now is they've got this larger vision. We've got to come together, and we've got to ensure that the next generation is equipped and empowered with the latest knowledge. And for that, I actually salute them. They're being professionals of a very, very high caliber, right? I mean, nothing like, this is something that, we teachers have that same dharma. Anyone who comes to us, we have to give them whatever we've learned and make them even better than we found them, right? Better than us, if possible, right? And that's really what this entire institute and the team have been able to create. So you already have role models out there inspiring you to be professional in every way, shape, and form, right? So that's one. Another is to stay abreast of everything that's going on around you, right? See, a lot of people, and this goes for, we say you're going to go work for a political party, you're going to go work for some other organization, some other team. It's extraordinarily important to know that domain, right? It's not just a question of organizing an event, of coming up with a campaign. You have to have some understanding of the issues involved. And this means, maintaining a certain intellectual curiosity, reading the newspapers, watching TV, keeping a finger on the pulse of the way the world is changing on a constant basis, right? And so I actually summarize this in a different way. I say, be a perpetual student, right? Always invest in yourself. Keep thinking about how you can gain more knowledge, gain more understanding, engage with the world as it changes in front of you. Okay? So that's something that's really crucial. We're not just performing a service, we are also, to make that service really come alive and be meaningful, you need to know who you're working with in every way, and you need to, you literally be in their shoes so that you can make a larger impact. Your knowledge, your capabilities with their domain expertise together, that is much more than the sum of the parts, right? And the last thing I would say is also bring a certain empathy to the world around you, to the way you look at the world, the way you interact with people, etc. What I mean is, every one of us who is here in this room is privileged. we've all had opportunities. It could be the fact that our parents gave us the education that allowed us to reach this level, right? Lots and lots of Indians don't even finish school or college, right? But here we have not only an opportunity to go and get a degree or a postgraduate diploma, but we've also got the chance to, we've got supportive parents who let us do what we are interested in and capable of. They've not forced you into engineering or medicine. They've let you do this, right? So in that sense, we are very, very privileged to be here in this room today. Well, as you think about, this whole notion of how blessed we are, of how, our cup is overflowing, right? With blessings in some sense, with the good things that we've got, we also have to look over our shoulders at those who've been left behind and devote some portion of our lives, some portion of our energies, our ideas to making a difference to society, to create more opportunities for others. And so those of you who have these kinds of extraordinarily practical skills, event management, marketing, advertising, etc., I would urge you to spare some of your time every year for organizations that are trying to make a difference. It could be a school for the blind. It could be some other group. Most of such groups are basically bootstrapping. They're doing things with practically no resources whatsoever, right? And they could have they could have a much larger impact if you can just give them 5 ideas, if you can just help them with a checklist on how to run an event, or if a bunch of you get together and say, let's just make this come alive for this particular organization, right? If you do that, then you are really fulfilling a larger societal role. You're making your life meaningful. You're touching people. You will make India a better place. So let me wish all of you a wonderful future. And I was telling Arvind, I am also going to become much more professional. In the political world, we have a very difficult time trying to figure out how to actually get hold of a Lok Sabha ticket or things like that. It's not a very clean, professional process. It's a very murky, opaque process, and luck may have something to do with it, along with numerous other factors. But I was telling him that I'm going to make an offer, possibly to the graduating class, but as much to your next batch that comes in, that I'm going to put a very good campaign team together, and I'm looking forward to offering them internships to work with me. And no. I will also gain as much as they will gain in terms of working in a very different and an emerging domain. This is not something that is that's well established, right? Over the last decade, I've seen people coming in who had no idea of the political world, who learned how to do opinion polls, and then the media houses which want to do opinion polls. So there was one youngster that I have mentored who very, very quickly did such a great job that essentially he's the one who advised Naveen Patnaik on breaking his tie with the BJP. His last client was President Rajapaksa of Sri Lanka. These are all youngsters who came raw and fresh, but who knew that this sort of a domain existed and it wouldn't take too much to master. So, the political domain, the public policy domain, these are all domains where your skills and capabilities could go a very, very long distance. And the world is there waiting for you, with lots of different opportunities. Go out and seize them, do very well, and all the very best. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Gowda, for your valuable time. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll be able to spend too much of time with us. He has some prior engagements. So thank you again. I'd like to introduce our next speaker, which is Naomi Junaid. She is the zonal head of the PRCI. So let's all give her a warm welcome.
Good evening. I'm very humbled to be speaking after Mr. Rajiv Gowda. It's a very tough act to follow, but I will try. Experience, ladies and gentlemen, is the best teacher. But the trouble with learning from experience is that you never graduate. Class of 2003, as I welcome you to Team I's graduation ceremony, I urge you in this sense to never, ever graduate. Keep learning. We at the PRCI are proud to be associated with teamI, one of India's cutting-edge business communication schools, and I'm very happy to inform you that at the PRCI's 7th Global Communications Conclave, held in Hyderabad, teamI was declared the most promising PR and event management school. It was also awarded the prestigious Chanakya Award at the event, and they fought off competition from about 20 schools to win this coveted award. So kudos to you all, and all the very best. And we at the PRC have been associated with teamI from its inception. We've assisted with course content and the curriculum development, and we assure you of our continued support. To the graduating class of 2013, I would like to say in the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, unless you try to do something beyond what you've already mastered, you will never grow. And therefore, at your convocation, I find it appropriate to acquaint you with the emerging world of public relations you will encounter as you commence your journey as business communicators. And in the essence of what I'm going to say, I will keep it short. That's a promise. The long-term trends that have transformed the PR industry will continue to accelerate. I'm sure you're familiar with them. Trust in traditional sources of authority will decline, influences will disperse, and audiences will fragment and cluster in new communities. Like the music and the publishing industry, advertising PR are also being disrupted by digital technology, but unlike the music industry, we've barely begun to discuss the implications. In the year 2013, I challenge you graduates to extend this to our industry. There are now 2.4 billion web users worldwide, and that number is fast growing. As we speak, the number I state is probably outdated. What does it mean for the PR industry? Here are the 9 takeaways and their implications for the PR professionals that I've kind of made. I'm sure you could add to that. TV and internet are top media consumption. The Indian Readership Survey for 2012 revealed that Indians are continuing to increase consumption of media online. Internet as a medium of media consumption registered an overwhelming 34% increase. TV grew 5%, and the press grew at a 0.9%. This is indicative of the trouble that the newspaper industry is having. Number 2 I'd like to bring to your notice is that people like photos. I'm sure you don't need to be told that. The number of photos uploaded on the internet per day has exploded since 2005, more than 500 million per day. As brands share content on social networks, the need for visuals is obvious. Number 3, smartphone users look at their devices. That's the takeaway, a lot. Consumers are reaching for their mobile services. Can you guess how many times a day? On an average, anyone guesses? 150 times a day. Would you pick up a newspaper that often? Probably not. Make websites, content, and whatever you're using to communicate with your consumers mobile friendly. Users flock to video. People are embracing online videos like never before. Per minute, 100 hours of footage is being uploaded to YouTube. That's a 100% increase from 6 years ago. Is your brand there? Vine. Here's another nod to the boom in online video. Only these are a bit more condensed. Vine, as you might be familiar, is a second video app. It's a format of 6 seconds only. It's like YouTube, but only the format is 6 seconds long. Vine has grown significantly since January, from 2% of iPhone users to nearly 8%. How can brands leverage this app for storytelling? That's totally up to you, and I'm sure you can change the way this app is used. Facebook is huge, but it's declining. Facebook is in the top 3 of the world's most websites, behind Google and Microsoft. But it's also the only social network to suffer a decline in users in the past couple of years. Decline or not, the sheer numbers of this site visitors proves that Facebook's worth as a promotional tool for brands is invaluable. And transparency gets more transparent. Think about these statistics. There are about 1.1 billion global active Facebook users, 68% of whom are on mobile and have average of more than 200 friends. I'm sure most of us have 1,000 or more. Every person on Facebook has the ability to be a reporter. Companies must be truthful and transparent, or they risk that their mistakes will be spread across social media. Internet access habits will change quickly. Within 2 years, more people will access the internet from cars, televisions, and appliances other than the PC. Also, wearable technology is coming. This will be another opportunity for brands to creatively develop ways for consumers to access on the go, like you already have the Google wearable glasses thing coming up. I'm sure there are many others in the offing that we will hear about sooner or later. And the other thing that we thought was dead is the QR code. The quick response code adoption in China has jumped from 2 million to 9 million last year. The QR code will continue to be an extension of campaigns. It's really amazing. I've been reading up on the QR code, and it's amazing, really. And it's a way for consumers to stay informed, increase convenience, and even pay for goods. And I think it's an amazing way for brands to get in touch with their consumers at a very high rate. There's no trouble involved for the consumer to reach your website when you have a QR code to scan. So these are my readings of the takeaway of what is happening in the industry right now. And I'm sure you'll have much more than me to add, because you're the current generation and you know what's happening. So keep learning. Good luck and God bless.
Thank you very much, Ms. Naomi, for such a wonderful speech. And also, thank you very much, Mr. Rajiv Gowda, for coming down and helping out teamI. Up next, I would like to invite Mr. Sanjeev Kapoor, MD, Scorpio Events, and also a part of the teamI Advisory Board. Please give a round of applause to him.
Thank you, teamI, for inviting me at Convocation Day. From my side, really very short, I want to congratulate all of the students for their future. Need to give a small suggestion to Mr. Arvind that suddenly, somehow I understood that whenever you do Convocation Day, we all meet, do networking with each other. Why don't, Mr. Arvind, you do something where we keep meeting with our event management company friends, with your students who are placed in companies, and let's keep doing a networking instead of keep mentoring them and give education to them. Sorry, sir? Convocation Day is a name. We can say is a networking day also. So with that only, I would like to finish my speech. Because the event manager believe in doing our work. Let's our work talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanjeev. Next, can I invite Mr. Parul Sood from L&T Infotech to please come and speak a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, Parul Sood.
Good evening, everybody. Or should I say, good evening, teamI. Yeah, that's better. So I take care of the trading department. I head the trading department for L&T for the south of India. And as a part of my job responsibilities, I am also responsible for all the events which happen in L&T Infotech. Okay. So let me tell you a small story before you guys, I know you guys are graduating today, and let me tell you a small story, okay? Let me ask you this one small question first. Which is that bird which flies the highest? Anybody, any one of you? That bird which flies the highest. The eagle? Yes, the eagle, okay? So, you know how an eagle teaches, a mother eagle teaches the kid to fly? If you notice, all the nests of eagle are always on the top of the mountain, yeah? You know how the mother teaches the eagle to fly? She drops the kid from the nest. And that's how every eagle actually realizes that she has a feather. And then she soars high. So Team I has given you a platform to realize your feathers. Now it's your responsibility is how high you can soar. Yeah? So I've given, I work with Arvind very closely in a couple of different projects. Arvind has been associated with L&T Infotech. And now I am also kind of, want to give this good news that Marcom, the media entertainment department, which was actually centralized in Mumbai, is now going to operate out of Bangalore, which means more events from family days to, annual days. So I look forward to Team I to kind of come back and, give the best shot and take all the events forward, okay? However, where I congratulate all of you on your graduation, also remember one thing. There was a wrestler, okay, whose job was to only wrestle in different villages, okay? So during his tenure as a good wrestler, he has actually beaten every other wrestler in the village or close by villages. So now he has no work. He's actually, he doesn't have money to even eat food. So he tries finding a job for himself, and he goes to this timber merchant, okay? And he goes to this timber merchant and says, can I get a job? He says, yes, I can give you a job. You have to go to the jungle every day and cut trees. He says, I'll give you 10 rupees for every cut tree. Yeah? He says, wonderful. He picks up the axe, goes to the jungle, and first day, good, strong built wrestler, 99 trees down. Second day, 110 trees down. Third day, 50 trees down. Fourth day, he puts more energy, more focus, more muscle, 20 trees down. Why is it happening? He comes back to the timber merchant. He says that I'm putting more focus, more energy, more power, but my result is going down. The timber merchant smiles with a beautiful innocent smile and asks this very beautiful question, have you sharpened your axe? Yeah? So although you guys are graduates, but every day take it as an opportunity to sharpen your axe. If you have achieved somewhere, keep yourself upgraded, keep upgrade to the event industry, and I'm sure you guys will be soaring absolutely high. So congratulations once again. Hope you guys have a wonderful career, and I look forward to see some of the interns and people joining L&T Infotech. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Parul Sood. Now we'll begin up with the certifications, the thing that all the students have been waiting for. But before that, can I request Mr. Amit Saran from Sports Promotion Team to come and speak a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Amit Saran.
Thank you. This was most unexpected. I didn't come prepare for this. Anyway, I wish all of you, the new graduates, all the best. The speakers have said a few things earlier, which is very meaningful to all of you in your future careers. I would like to add one more thing. Remember, whenever you are working in an organization or anywhere, do it with your heart and soul. Put your heart and soul in it. Don't think that it is somebody else's work. Treat it as it is your own work. Because the moment you start liking what you are doing, I'm sure you are liking because you have chosen this career, you will like it because that's why you are here. But don't work for money alone. Of course, money is very important for all of us. We need more and more money every day because our needs keeps growing. But do it as if you are doing it for your own self. And I assure you, and you will make your life much more fruitful, and you will benefit in the long run through this simple mantra. We have learned, all those who've been successful, all the entrepreneurs, we are sitting here. It's only because of this, because we did, not only when we started our own companies, but whenever we were working, whichever company we were working, we were doing it with our heart and soul. We never thought that we are working for somebody else. Simple message. If you can follow it, I'm sure you will be much more successful. Thank you very much, Arvind, and all the best for teamI. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit sir. I would like you to stay back there for a minute as we are starting the certification process now. And a big hand for all the students who are graduating today. A big hand, really loud. And so to start off the certification process, we will start off with Prashant G. Big hand for Prashant. I request Mr. Amit Saran to give away this one. Prashant gets his diploma in event management and activation exec. Prashant, please put on your cap. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. All the very best. Thank you, Amit sir. Thank you so much. Next on stage, we have a very special guest from Rings and Roses. I would request Mrs. Ratnam to come up on stage and give a few words of encouragement to the students. It's the first time that we have managed to get Mrs. Ratnam to come over here. Thank you so much, madam, for being here.
If you don't mind, I'd rather not be on stage. I just feel more comfortable here. I want to congratulate each and every one of you here. I don't do public speaking, so it's tough. But I didn't think I would see the day when event management and wedding planning would be a subject taught in a college. And I'm really happy to see this. And I just want to tell you, we started 13 years ago, my husband and I. It was out of a passion, an idea that didn't even exist in India. A friend of mine, we had come from Muscat, and I came in, the very week that I came in after being 20 years in Muscat, was to a friend's daughter's wedding. She was my best friend in college. And it was at the RSI. There were about 600 people, and it rained. And it was open air, and she was so desperate. She was wiping the chairs and trying to get organized, and I was feeling so bad for her. And then when my son was doing his MBA at St. Joseph's, he came one day and told me that the next big thing in India would be event management and entertainment and service industry, and India would not be really manufacturing and production as much as, doing that as much as this line of service. So I just said to him casually that I would love to do events, but just weddings. It's just wonderful to see that a bride should not cry. She should just, it should be her special day. It should be all about the bride. And after that, he nagged me till I started. And, well, we're 13 years into it. And now we're running it professionally. We've got an office. We've taken staff. One of them is one of your graduates here. That's it.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Ratnam. I mean, it's really been a pleasure. Very strangely that a lot of the girls in our institute have wanted to take up wedding planning, but we have Abhilash who's there, and today a business head with your organization. We are very proud of Abhilash, and thank you. I would like to take this opportunity to say, Abhilash, why don't you receive your certificate from Mrs. Ratnam? Big hand for Abhilash. Okay. A big hand, Abhilash. Thank you, Mrs. Ratnam. Thank you. Next on stage, I would like to call Neeraj Verma. Neeraj Saab, thoda aake aap bhi gyan vyan de de. The students have been very happy with the 2 sessions that you took with us. Yeah.
Very good evening to all of you. I sympathize with Mrs. Ratnam. I also suffer from stage fright. I had no idea that I'm going to be called up today evening to talk, but well, here it is. I think my only submission to all of you young guys going out there and taking up events is look for meaning. Look for meaning in the events that you do. See how you're going to make a difference. Events is a very, very powerful tool which you can use to cause change, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Neeraj. Just hold on there for a minute, and let's have Amir Rizvi to receive his certificate from Neeraj. Amir completes his master's diploma in advertising and media professional.
I'm gonna live my life, no matter what we party tonight. I'm gonna live my life. I know that we gonna.
Thank you so much, Neeraj. Next, I would like to invite a very, very special guest, again from the Public Relations Council of India. Mr. Pranab Pani is here in our midst, and we would like to have him to come up on stage and give away a few certificates. Give a few words also, Pranab. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Arvind. Very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Particularly congratulations to the young graduates. It's an exciting day, or rather evening, for all of you. It's a memory down the lane, and when we also look back and think about, the kind of day that you graduate out and you get into a different kind of world with the kind of excitement in the mind and the glittering eyes looking around. There is always a lot of expectations, and if it meets, yes, you're happy. If it doesn't, probably you try on. But then it's just the positive thinking that's very important. And if you allow me to take a cue from the previous illustrious speakers who have spoken a lot about various important things, very important if you're looking at the digital age, the kind of data which is literally sitting in the media space is enormous. The humongous data needs to be analyzed. That's the biggest challenge for the media people right now. And this is something needs to be really looked into, because if you look at the social networking side or professional networking side and all the kind of engagement, the kind of activities that keep continuing every time, and the kind of information we are putting across, if that just can be analyzed, it gives you a lot of information, a lot of clues into the industry, into the business that you're talking about, and that will help you in analyzing, in projecting, in targeting your, the market that you're like to get into tomorrow. So that's very important. And second, while Dr. Rajiv Gowda was talking about, one very interesting thing I'm sure you all must have experienced and must have noticed. Now, in the elections, you must have seen people, particularly the political parties, have of late started promoting themselves through social media, and particularly in Facebook. Now, the only problem, I hope they would correct themselves, improve rather. You post any comment on that, you never get a response. It's a one-way communication. I'm sure it fails the basic purpose of communicating. Now, it's like somebody just talking about himself or herself, doesn't bother about whether the other person is accepting that person or not. Now, that entirely fails the kind of media campaign that the political parties are doing. And I'm sure probably with knowledgeable and learned people like Dr. Gowda will take a lead and advise them further on this. So that's very important, and more important, if you permit, I mean, since I represent, like my colleague, Mrs. Naomi Zunaid, organization called Public Relations Council of India, now we have a youth wing called Young Communicators Club. Now that's an organization, that's an institute which promotes the youth. It gives a platform for the youth to get onto the world. But then the major motto of that is to make each of the individual, the youth in particular, to become a responsible citizen. Now, that's very important. Whatever profession we'll walk into tomorrow, it's very important to be responsible because we need to contribute to the growth of the country. That's very important. And I would like to just, again, congratulate all of you. Thank you very much. Think positive. Walk on. You'll be successful. God bless.
Thank you so much, Pranab. I would request you to stay back and give away a few certificates to the passing out batch. Can we request Rushank Shah to come and receive his certificate from Mr. Pranab Pani? Rushank passes his master's diploma in event management and activation professional. Big hand for Rushank, guys. Thank you, sir. Pranab, you could just stay back for one more certificate if you don't mind, and we'll have Juhi Singh, who has also done her master's diploma in event management and activation. Thank you so much, Pranab. Thank you, Juhi. Congratulations. Next on stage, I would like to invite yet another very, very important person, a very important part of the institute that we all are a part of. We have Mr. Parvez Mir. Parvez takes care of all the problems that I create at teamI. So he's our legal consultant, and I'll request him to say a few words.
Good evening, everybody. Arvind bhai, आपने कुछ ज़्यादा ही बोल दिया.
हमेशा बोलता हूँ सर, क्या करूँ? That's why we are in trouble, right?
It's a great honor to address a group of young, aspiring people who are going to paint the world red after leaving. I still remember my convocation when I had it. At that particular time, we had one thing when we came onto the stage, which I don't find now. When we were there, we had a big question mark, like what we would do, what's in store for us. But today here, times have changed. I see only exclamatory marks. Yes, I have done it. This is what it is. The change from the time when we passed out and the time that we're seeing now. Furthermore, as I've been introduced, I'm a lawyer too. At that time, we were told, somebody addressed a gathering of lawyers when we passed out. That time we were told, there is always a light at the end of tunnel. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. Today, I want you guys here to get out and light the tunnel. This is what I advise every youth, not to look at the light at the end of the tunnel, but take a torch, be a torch bearer and light up the tunnel. Make your own way. Even if you're alone, it's not a problem. Be a trailblazer, be a pioneer. Incidentally, last year I was a part of the faculty of teamI also. I did give a few classes on events and law. At that time, a group of students, it was so interactive compared to the other law students which I teach. Teaching people in events was a great experience, and I know each one of you is going to light up the tunnel and not wait for the light at the end of the tunnel. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thanks, Paresh bhai, and we'll have a certification from you too. Let's have the one and only Cyrus Jude Kolako to come and receive the certificate. Big hand. Master's Diploma in Event Management and Activation, Cyrus. Thank you so much, Paresh bhai. Another very special guest, and like Sanjeev said a little earlier, this is a good symposium for all of us also to meet. We have Mr. Bhaskar Goribidnur, who's going to come up and say a few words and introduce himself and give away a couple of certificates. Thank you, Bhaskar, for being here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a bit of a surprise. I wasn't expected to be here. But like somebody said, stage fright. Everybody has stage fright, including actors like me. Being on stage for the last 30 years, you still develop a stage fright. I'm a photographer and a theater actor, director. Arvind and I have known each other for several years. I have only one motto in my life, and that's can do, will do. I think that should be a guiding principle for most youngsters. There's nothing that you can't do. When I took up the photography, they said, photography? Well, you can do it. And I said, yes, I can, and I did. When I went on stage for the first time, before that somebody said, you're going to be an actor? I said, yes, and I did it. So I think all of us can do it if we believe in ourselves. So let's look at one guiding principle, that is can do, will do. Thank you.
Thanks, Bhaskar. We'll have Shobhavati to come and receive the certificate from Mr. Bhaskar.
You could call me crazy man. Every day I'm partying, ladies dancing to the jam. Acting naughty man, oh man, got me in the mood again.
Big hand for Shobhavati. She's got herself placed in Delhi. She works for a company called Story. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bhaskar. Next on stage, can we have Mr. Avinash Mantri, the one and...
Perhaps my session with you all was a little different. I made you all do and I just took the fees, right? Yeah? Okay, so coming to reality, a couple of things I'd like to advise you all or maybe share with you all. What you're getting here is recognition right now. You also need to have your appreciation in place. Please thank the entire journey where your parents, people who have been encouraging you to take these steps ahead in terms of building up a career in event management and leading up to wherever you have set your sights upon. I would like you to not forget two things: appreciate things around you, people around you. Recognitions will keep coming this way. All the best and God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Avinash. Avinash has been a great support to teamI. We would like you to give away a few certificates. Next on line, can I invite on stage Arun Kumar PT? Arun has got his diploma in event management, exec. Next on line, we could have, congratulations Arun. Next we could have Ved Prakash to come and receive his certification. Congratulations, Ved. Big hand for him, guys. Let's get some energy into the room.
Everybody, time to party. Come on, hit the floor. If you want to feel the music, you can sing along.
Thanks, Ved. Thank you, Avinash. Thanks so much for being here. Another very interesting and special gentleman for the evening. Somehow we have not been able to come, make him come and take some classes with you guys, but we have Vidur Patni. Vidur, can we have you on stage? Thank you so much. Vidur from a new company that he has started called Globox Media. Thanks so much, Vidur.
Thanks, Arvind. Good evening. Congratulations, the whole class. It's indeed a very special evening for you. And as a lot of people have said, that you've got your certification, you've worked hard, you worked over the last year, 6 months, whatever. You've put in a lot of energy. Hopefully, you've learned a lot of stuff, but it doesn't stop here. It just doesn't stop. It's an ongoing process. It's a process that you're going to have to strive to improve at as you move along. But I'm glad so many of you are doing events because it is a very interesting and an exciting field to be in. In my opinion, it's probably the only job in the world where you could sit at work all day, surf the net, watch movies, all in the garb of doing research. And you don't get that in many other places. So But having said that, you do need to be serious, be innovative in everything that you do, keep your eyes and ears open. There's a lot to learn at every step of the way, whatever you are doing. And it's those experiences that you learn all throughout that are going to hold you in good stead when you actually come down to doing events and doing projects. And wish you all the very best of luck. Good luck. Cheers.
Thanks, Udir. Certification, we'll have Siddharth Bubna, the baby of teamI of this batch, to come over and take his certificate. Siddharth's going to continue his studies for a couple of more years, right? Thanks, Siddharth. Thanks so much, Udir. Next, I would like to take the privilege of inviting on stage Ronita Madam, as we all call her, to come over and say a few words. Come on, guys, you can clap more than that.
I didn't interact with a whole lot of you, just I think 3 or 4 from this batch. Yes, hi Vinod. But it was a great experience. All the best, congratulations. I have tremendous stage fright, so I'm just going to go there and hand over your certificates. All the best again.
Thank you, madam. And a couple of certificates that I would like you to give out. One person, I think Ram is not here, so Ram receives his certificate whenever he's in. Next, online, we have Jason Philip. I think Jason is also not here. Is that right? Is Jason here, guys? No, so Jason is not here. Next online, we have Milson to come and receive his certificate. Milson will receive his certificate from Ronita. Thank you so much, Milson. Thank you, Ronita. Now I would like to call on stage one person I think who has interacted with practically all of you, at least a huge lot of you. I think we have about 27, 29 of you who have interacted with Ankit Rawal. Thank you so much, Ankit, for being here. Woo! Louder, guys, come on. This is one convocation where you can boo and hoot.
Thanks, Arvind. Yes, you are right. I've interacted with most of the class, and now I see the full class, so it's good. And whether I'll just differ with you, there's another field called mobile advertising, where we pay people to play games. So that's another interesting fun, and that's what I represent. I come from InMobi, which is into mobile advertising, and I got a chance to really interact with a lot of you. So I know it's been a tough journey. It's been a long journey, but it's great. Finally made it. And as a lot of speakers already said, that journey is just begun. So success is not a destination, but a journey. So I'll just leave you with one mantra, as somebody also pointed out, that which Steve Jobs always said, that stay hungry, stay foolish. That's the mantra. If you can have throughout your year life, you'll really learn a lot. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Ankit. We'll ask very interesting guy called Amit Kumar Singh to come over and take his certificate from you. Big hand for Amit. I must say something here is that Amit is the one who works today with Scorpio events, and Scorpio has helped us and sponsored all the production over here. Thank you, Amit. A lot of hard work. He's been here since last night. Next online, sir, Mr. Cherish Tota from Total Recall. Can we have you on stage? Big hand for Cherish.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies. Stage fear is something which everybody will have, right? Most important thing is everybody has butterflies in their stomach. The impressive part is when those butterflies fly in formation. That's when you train yourself and make the most of the time. Everybody gets to be in a spot, but how you excel out of that is what makes you and what you're getting trained to be. Just I'd like to take 1 minute and relate the teachings of a Jew to his children. Yeah, I was just trying to make some notes. I knew I was coming here, so I had some time to prepare a couple of notes. A Jew always teaches 4 things to his kids. Number 1 is a trade that when he becomes big, he can always work on it and sustain himself, right? Number 2, fortunately, unfortunately, get a life mate, right? They don't give him a choice, apparently. Number 3 is they teach him or her to swim. Every Jew knows how to swim. Apparently, it teaches you a lot on how to handle life and different perspectives of life. 4th is the most impressive thing, which is more relevant to this particular medium. It tells you to give you roots and wings. Roots as to where and how much of control you should have, and to know when you should take off those roots and metamorphosize into wings. Now, EMDI, to a large extent, is giving you, if not all the first 3, definitely the 4th, right? So kudos, and a big hand to each and every one of you here to making through this. And it's a very, very rough world out there. I'm sure a lot of rosy pictures has been painted to you, but believe me, it's not. Yeah, it's definitely not. The first thing somebody comes up to me and asks me for a job, I say, please don't join me, buddy. Don't join me. Okay, I'm going to make you really suffer for the next 2 years. But yes, his conviction and his confidence, if he says, yes, I want to do that for the next 2 years, and I want to boss over you, right? And that's where you belong. And that's where you guys are headed. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely super. Very surprisingly, Cherish, in spite of everything that you said, at least about 20 of these kids would give an arm or a leg to work with you. Yes or no, guys? They all came up to me. We don't want a job anywhere else. I'll not mention the name of the companies where they didn't want a job, right? But they said, we want to work with Cherish Tota. And considering that you took a couple of classes with them, thank you so much, Cherish. We'll have Vishaka to come over and take your certificate from Cherish Tota. Vishaka has got herself a job with Sagar Pindli at Catro at Hyderabad. Big hand for Vishaka. Thank you so much. Thanks, Cherish. Thanks a lot, buddy. Next online, lot of agencies, lots of new agencies coming up. We have another great guy whom I have a lot of respect for, production, Deepak Bora. Deepak, can we have you up on stage, please? Another guy whom I try my best to get every year, succeed sometimes, fail most of the time, but let me try it again next year. Thanks, Deepak. One line.
Sorry, not prepared completely. As you said, production guys, we're always backstage.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's been throughout, it's been there from the past 15 years, been backstage. Suddenly you get limelight and you're not prepared. Probably, yeah, Arvind said rightly that he's been trying to chase me to give away some classes, but I have not been found time. But I promise you this year, definitely I'm going to be taking a lot of classes out. Yeah. And one thing I would want to say, people find it very difficult or take that 6 years or 5 years to reach to the top and become number 1. But where I feel and see is, it's even more difficult to stay on number 1. Yeah, guys, it's even more difficult for you all to keep sharpening your axe, with a lot of other eminent speakers have spoken about. Keep sharpening your skills, keep learning every day. Today even I learned a lot of things when I did some kind of event, that even like placing cookies was most important, because the dignitaries were there. So keep sharpening your skills and all the very best. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Deepak. And we'll have Nikita Kemani to come and receive the certificate from Deepak Bora. Nikita, big hand. Nikita, not here? Nikita, not here. Uh-oh. Okay. So then we have the next best guy, or maybe the best guy in the class, at least the most troublesome for me. What's his name? Bojo!
I am lost, I am vain, I will never be the same without you, without you.
Thank you so much, Giorgio. Thanks, Deepak. I really appreciate this. Next we have, can I request Sanjeev Nair to come up on stage? Sanjeev has taken a few classes for you guys in the first semester. Thank you, Sanjeev, for coming over.
Thank you, Arvind. It's an honor. I think I should start with check 1, 2, check, check. This is what I would do if I had a mic in front of me 95% of the time. Yes, I do events. Well, not too many words of wisdom from my side. It's congratulations to all of you. Do well, stay focused. Yes, in specific, there is one thing that I'd want to leave with you, which in a sense is an attitude which is slowly changing, of course. But there's been this attitude of, someone even mentioned it as he was speaking here, about, chalta hai attitude has got to change. We get into specifics, we are professionals, and trust me, your clients and their expectations now is going to be far more greater than it was ever before. So be absolutely specific about what you want and how you deliver it. That's that from my side. All the very best.
Thanks so much, Sanjeev. We'll have Anjani Nilesha to come up and receive her certificate from Sanjeev. Quick one about Anjani. She has worked with Amazon and came over and did her certification with us and continues to do work with Amazon. Thank you, Anjani, for being here. Thanks, Sanjeev. Thanks a lot. Another lot of people who do hardcore production and have made a great success out of themselves. But like I say in every class where I start off the session and I say that you have to be a marketing person, and only then it works. Even though you're in production, end of the day you have to market yourself. So here we have another interesting gentleman, Mr. Murthy from Fabricana. Can I request you to come over, sir? Murthy, sir, thank you so much.
Thanks, Arvind. Okay, I would say good evening to my family members, because always I see it is a family, and it is my family. I think everybody should agree about it. And let's welcome the new kids to the family. Yeah? Welcome, kids. See, whatever today I am, it is education. It is nothing else. My father told, son, I would not give you money, I would not give you property, I would give you education. That was his capacity. And he gave education to 4 of his children, where all the 4 of his children are become 100% successful. This is what I see with you. Your parents have given a choice of your own education. It is not like somebody told, they forced you to become an engineer or a doctor or that, this, nothing. This is a choice. Becoming an event manager is a choice. Okay? So I wish all your very best. Not to worry, it is not a way where you can walk on roses. It is 100% walking on thorns. It is not so easy to get success. You may see a lot of people telling, okay, this person is successful, that person is successful. Oh, he's made money, he's lost. Yeah, making money, losing money is always there in any business. Don't ever have in your brain that you can make money when doing events or exhibitions or anything. You work for it, you get it. You don't work for it, you don't get it. It is zero. Yeah? You agree? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Murthy, sir. That was a lot of encouragement, a little late in the day for these guys since they are passing out. Thank God I didn't have you there for the initial days.
What I see is people don't have energy, which is not possible. You should have energy. If you don't have energy, you cannot work in this family. You need energy. Let's see what's your energy. Can I get claps? Louder. Woo!
Thank you, Murthy, sir. We'll have Shweta Krishnaswamy to come over and receive this certificate. Big hand for Shweta. Shweta works with crayons and is going to get her certificate for a master's diploma in event management and activation. Thank you, Mr. Murthy. Next on stage, and we'll not have a speech now so that we can get to the bar a little quicker. What do you guys say? Yeah, this is getting a little boring, speeches. We'll have two of these very, very good gentlemen called Sachin and Lavin from Liquid Space. I would like them to come up on stage. They have taken on 3 students from this batch, and 2 of whom are not here. Right? So that means their work is on and things are moving. Thank you guys. Thank you, Lavin, Sachin, for being here. I would like, Bhagat is not here, right? You've come. Jesus, I was just borrowing some good dialogues and you have come. Okay, so we'll get Bhagat to come and receive his certificate from Lavin and Sachin. I think that's very apt, yeah? Congratulations, Bhagat. Thank you, Lavin, Sachin. I think great job. The other one receiving a certificate from Lavin and Sachin would have been Kritika Jain, but she's not here. Big hand for Bhagat. One second, guys. Thank you. Just 1 second. And we'll have an interesting lady called Sidra. Sidra will come receive her certificate from Lavin and Sachin. Sidra completes her Master's Diploma in Event Management and Activation Professional. Congratulations, Sidra. Sujala Reddy is not here. Is she here? Sujala would have received a certificate. Thank you, Lavin. Thank you, Sachin. Can I request Veena Solomon to come on stage, please? Veena Solomon, can we have you to come and say a few words and encourage our students? Very difficult to find people like yourself to come over to our institute.
Good evening, everybody, and many congratulations to all the outgoing students. Well, I didn't come prepared with a speech as such, but then all I can say is it is a roller coaster ride. So be prepared. All the best to you.
Thanks, Veena. We'll have Shweta Bera to receive her certificate from Veena Solomon. Shweta, big hand for Shweta, guys. Shweta completes her Master's Diploma in Event Management and Activation Professional. Congratulations, Shweta. Next online, can we have Joanne Fernandez? Veena, one moment, please. Can we have Joanne Fernandez to receive her certificate from Veena Solomon?
Thanks for this honor, Arvind.
Thank you, Veena. Thank you so much. I would like to invite a very eminent media person, Mr. Hari Narayan, to come on stage now. Hari, are you here? Can you come over and say a few quick words and give away a few certificates? Thank you so much.
Good evening and congratulations to all of you. Made it a very events. Yes, today what we have seen, what we are watching today with our consultants, with the best of any occasion needs an event. So innovation should be your own enterprises.
That's all. Wish you all the best for the futures.
Thanks, Hari. Just hold on for a minute and we'll have a certificate for Sushant D'Souza. Big hand for Sushant. Woo! Sushant is the gentle giant of the batch of 2012-13. Thanks, Sushant. Thanks, Hari. Another interesting and important gentleman, somebody that this batch did not meet again. His name is Shri, who runs an agency called Crazy Minds. He loves to call himself Crazy Shri, and you'll know why. Thanks, Shri.
Hi, I'm not into events, and mine is not an agency. I'm into cinema, I'm into films. I'm an editor, cinematographer, and an actor. All I want to say is, welcome to big bad world. It's not that easy. All the fun time is over. All you have seen till now is the opening titles. Picture abhi baki hai. Good luck.
Thanks, Shri. Thanks for being here. Can I request Payal Biani to come over and take her certificate from Shri, please? Big hand for Payal.
Up here to the beat, walking down the street in my new the freak, yeah. This is how I roll, animal print pants out control. It's Red Bull with the big ass bra, and like Bruce Lee, bro, I got the clout, yeah. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. I work out.
Thank you so much, Shri. Couple of very exceedingly superb faculties we picked up this year, and I pride myself for that. I would like to invite on stage now Pratima Rao to come over and say a few words. A big hand, guys, for Pratima. Very few of you have interacted with her.
Thank you, Arvind. I have a bad throat, so I'm going to try to make an effort to speak clearly. You have graduated from the School of New. Congratulations. And I wish you all the best. What I would say is that from the School of New, you're now moving to the School of Life. And some years ago, I remember thinking that a lot of what you have actually learned here in the School of New, these were things that were never there, as some of the speakers have mentioned. And most of us had to learn everything ourselves. I also wish that at some point, just as you are learning this in the School of New, perhaps things about the School of Life could also be something which maybe there would be institutes set up for it. Companies do try, and you will find that once you start working, there will be companies that will teach you, team management, leadership skills, etc., etc., etc. What I would like to leave you with is just a few things which a lot of young people would say, this is a bhashan or a lecture, but I think just a few things to keep in mind. Convocation speeches have become very important of late in the last few years. I mean, you can go onto the net and see convocation speeches done by lots of people. Steve Jobs is the most famous one. I'll just say to you a few things. One is attitude. A lot of employers are quite happy to have people who are not that necessarily, top of their class and academically bright. What matters is the right attitude. So that's one thing that's very critical. Second, there is no substitute for hard work. It doesn't matter how bright you are. Hard work is very important. You will get the recognition for it. I mean, Einstein has said this, everyone has said this, so this is not something new. The reason I'm mentioning these two things is partly because the trend that I notice is that most young people seem to think that, there's this culture of instant gratification. I don't blame you people because, that's what we see nowadays. And everything should happen instantaneously, okay? You do something, you immediately want a pat on the back from whoever it is. You want someone to tell you that you're the greatest thing. Now, you will find that the motivation will have to come from yourself.
You need to believe in what you're doing. So that again is to do with the way you view life, the way you look at life. So I would say this is an important thing to keep in mind. Get your attitude right, keep working hard at it, do the best you can. It is noticed, it's not that it's not noticed. And the reason I mentioned instant gratification, the other day I met a young person whom I asked, around your age or a bit younger, and I said, you know, you're studying, what do you intend to do? And I was told, I want to become an ambassador. I'm going to be an ambassador. I said, what is your future plan? I was told I'll become an ambassador. And I was thinking, this person has immediately thought, ambassador. Now you can look at it two ways. Either you can look at it as, wow, what ambition, what goal, very focused, very clear. Or you can look at it and say that, you know, it could have been worded as, I want to join the foreign service, okay? I don't know whether she even knew that what is the process for getting into the foreign service, you know? It was straight away ambassador. Now it's entirely possible that when you join the foreign service, first of all, you need to clear that exam, get into it. Everyone who joins the foreign service does not become an ambassador, okay? Now, does that mean you should be disappointed? No. So I would say to you that success is something which is different for different people. You do not have to define yourself necessarily by someone else's idea of success. Okay? It doesn't have to be in terms of money. It could be, it need not be. Okay? So all I would say to you is just keep these few things in mind. Do not get disappointed. It takes time to arrive somewhere. And while you're at it, as we always say, try to enjoy the journey as well, you know. It's not just about reaching the end. It's not about becoming the CEO. There was a very nice article which was some time ago. You could probably search the net and find it. It was written by, I think, Ravi Parthasarthi, Microsoft. He headed Microsoft for a while. He has written post-retirement. Take a look at it. It's looking back on his career. It's looking back on the things he did. It's looking back on the things he's left with and what is important for him. So I would urge you to have a look at that and just leave you with these thoughts. And congratulations and all the best.
Thanks, Pratima. Thanks, Pratima. Just a minute or two so that we can give away a certificate. And next on line, we have Nitish Bhaduraj to get a certificate. I hope I pronounced that right. Nitish, congratulations. Thank you so much, Pratima.